Hi Tammy, I'm finally getting around to responding to your absolutely brilliant question. I loved the last words that you wrote, and that's what got me excited about this. So I'm going to read the question out more for myself than for you. I know you know what you asked, but I would like to go over it again. So I have a question about LOA after seeing this picture. And the picture is of the man walking past lightning over, I think, the ocean or maybe some sort of body of water. If he does not fear lightning, will or can he still get struck by lightning? And if he is up on the emotional scale and has faith as well, is he always safe in every situation? Just wondering, because in reality, I was taught to respect lightning and stay indoors when it's going on. Is there such a thing as tempting fate in law of attraction? And I love those words, tempting fate. All right, so I'm going to take this apart little by little. Okay, so the first part, if you don't fear lightning, can you still get struck by it? No, because unless it's not your fear of lightning always that can lead to your being struck by it, because it's about vibration. And so it's about the vibration of fear. If you are generating a vibration of fear, it could be fear of something else. Maybe you're on your way to the doctor's office and expecting some sort of a verdict, and it has you in a place of fear. As long as you're in a place of fear, you can attract negative outcomes. It could be lightning, it could be an accident of some sort, it could be losing money or the loss of something, but it's fear. Fear attracts things to be fearful about, right? So it is always and always and always about our vibration. The example that comes to mind just now is something serious like a stroke or cancer or heart attack. How do those things happen to people? Those people weren't asking for them, but they were in a vibration that attracted those events. And lightning, being struck by lightning, is like any other event in our lives. It is representative of the fact that you are in a low vibration. So even someone who loves lightning, someone who is absolutely in love with lightning, can get struck by lightning, because they might be in a low emotional place. So it has nothing to do with the fear of lightning or not. All right, so I hope that answers the first part of your question. The second part of your question has to do with being on top of the emotional scale. And yes, if you are on top of the emotional scale, you live life in a bubble. You don't care what's going on in the rest of the world, because in your world, in your personal space, everything is fantastic. So, absolutely, those people who live on top of the emotional scale, they never even come across anything that's going to make them feel the feeling of fear, because they don't drop down on that vibration. Right? People who get used to living their life at the top of the emotional scale, they dip. But for the most part, they are the sort of people who know what to do to come back up. And so they spend most of their time here, high on the emotional scale, and therefore they have momentum on that vibration. And when you have momentum on a vibration, it is easy to find that vibration, whether it is a negative vibration or a positive vibration. So then you said that you were taught to respect lightning. That's a really nice play on words. But it could be that the people that you were growing up with were in some way, shape, or form afraid of what lightning might do to you, the consequences. And they did not want to risk your being out there. And so that was a vibration of fear. And it's a good thing that they didn't take on their fear, because you cannot take on a negative vibration and have it go well. So if you're afraid of lightning, you should stay indoors. That is the right thing to do, unless you do the vibrational work to get over your fear. And if you did the vibrational work to get over the fear, and just for argument's sake, you started enjoying it, then of course you're not in that vibration, unless there's another subject in your life somewhere that is causing you to be on that vibration. So assuming that everything else in your life is working perfectly and you deal with your fear of lightning, now there's nothing to be afraid of. You can go outside and be in the middle of it, and it will not come anywhere near you in a harmful way. So this is why another example is when there is something that happens in a public place. Some people, so let's take 9/11, because that was a huge event that happened in our recent history. So some people went there who weren't supposed to be there. Other people who were supposed to be there didn't go there, right? And that is how vibration works. Because like vibration attracts like vibration, and the universe is like this giant search engine that puts things together based on their vibration. And that's exactly the same principle that applies to whether or not a person is going to be struck by lightning. All right, so now the last words that you used, is there such a thing as tempting fate? It's not actually about tempting fate, but where that line comes from is that if you're already negatively focused and you do the opposite, so you don't respect your fear, you do nothing to work on that fear and relinquish it, you do nothing to go up the emotional scale, then you should not take on that fear. Because you will be actively in a vibration of fear, and an active vibration of fear does not bring good results. So yes, that's where that line comes from. Now there were some other comments. So there was a comment by Jillian. And Jillian said, looking forward to hearing your perspective. I was struck by lightning when I was 13. It was during a severe lightning storm in Florida. I remember being very afraid just prior to being struck, so I'm certain I attracted it in my case. And then another time, I was in a car that was struck and thrown by lightning. I was 14 or 15 and it was raining. But it came out of nowhere, and I wasn't consciously aware of any lightning, so I wasn't consciously afraid of it either. See, here's the thing I have to say to you, sweetheart. We only hold very few thoughts in our consciousness. At any one given moment in time, you only have one thought in your consciousness. You can only think one thought at a time. But that does not mean that the vibration of everything else is not active, because unless you've done something to clean it up and let it go, it is still active even though you're not thinking about it, right? Now these two events that happened to you, they happened very quickly, 13, 14 and 15, right? So they were very close together. And so the vibration that was generated when you were 13 was somewhere in the background, even though you weren't thinking about it actively. And this is a situation that I call the two-headed monster, where you were feeling fear and you were in a bad place, so something happened. You were struck by lightning. And then because you were struck by lightning, that event was actually a manifestation telling you where your point of attraction was and directing you or guiding you towards doing something about it. But because you were a child and maybe you were surrounded by older people who didn't really understand how law of attraction works, and I'm not sure what happened right after that event, how it was dealt with in your case, but that vibration didn't really go away. It was there inside you. And so this second event that happened to you was a co-creation. You developed a weak spot, meaning that being struck by lightning became a weak spot for you because you now had a fear of it. It's the same kind of fear that they say once bitten, twice shy about people who get bitten by a dog and then they're afraid, right? So unless you do something, you convince your mind that that fear has no foundation and that event does not need to happen again. Unless you convince your mind of that, the mind does not let it go, because it's like an iceberg. There is a lot underneath, which we usually call the subconscious mind, but that subconscious mind contains active vibrations because you can't think more than one thought in your conscious head, so everything else is in here. You're not thinking it, but it's active and it does control what happens in your life. Our beliefs are all in that iceberg, the hidden part of the iceberg. That's why we can't see them and we don't know how they control us. And that is the reason why things go wrong for us, because we can't see them, we do nothing to clean them up, and then things happen. And things happen because it's guidance. It's guidance telling us to clean it up. So in the second case, when you were in this car with other people, in that case, it was co-creation. It was not just your vibration, it was a collective vibration of everyone who was in that vehicle. And you say it came from nowhere, and that's how things work in the universe, because the universe is so powerful. Source is so powerful that even though you don't see it coming, but a bag of money can drop right in front of you. It is as possible to have a bag of money drop in front of you as it is to have lightning hit you, even though there's not a cloud in the sky. Because anything is possible, and it's all about your vibration and what is close by. Because at any point in time, there are many different possibilities that can match up with our vibration. So all that matters is, are you in a place, a vibrational place, and what is around there that's going to match up with you? Because you cannot reach things that are over here from here. If your vibration is here, you're going to attract other things that correspond to that vibration. You cannot reach things that are up over here. So you don't have to be thinking about something in order for it to happen. And a big example around us is someone who gets cancer. They weren't thinking about getting cancer, but they got cancer. Why did they get that diagnosis? They got that diagnosis because their vibration corresponded to this thing happening, and it was a weak spot in their vibrational makeup. So if you go to my website, and I don't know if you've got the free book that I give away on my website, which is entitled Why Me? Why do bad things happen to good people? You will discover that what happens is when we have negative beliefs, they become like weak spots in our aura. So that weak spot then is where pressure of any sort will come out of. It's just like when you turn the water on in a hose that has weak spots and water starts sprouting. That's the kind of weak spot we have, and that is what results in negative events taking place in our lives. We gave attention to it, maybe somebody, a colleague at work, maybe somebody in the family, maybe one of our children's friends had a mother who got it. It doesn't matter. But you thought about cancer, and so you're thinking about cancer and thinking that it's out there now has created a negative spot in your vibration. Unless you tell yourself, it doesn't matter, because whatever happens to other people is a result of how they're vibrating. And there's nothing that can come to me if I do the vibrational work to keep my vibration up high. That's all we ever need to do. If we just do that one thing, then we do live in our own little bubble. That's how we create our own reality. That's how we manifest all good things. It's because we live in a vibration where only good things can come to us. Does that make sense? It is law of attraction. It is every time the same principles applied differently to different situations, but at the base of it, law of attraction is really, really simple, and it works consistently every time for everyone. There is no differentiation of ethnicity, age, language, color. There's no differentiation. Everyone is subject to law of attraction in the same way. And that's all I'm going to say. I am looking forward to hearing from you. If you have more questions about this wonderful topic, I would love to take them up with you. So I hope all of that made sense, and I'll see you and speak with you inside the forum. In the meantime, have a fabulous day. Bye for now.